Today we're working on converting units of measure. In your notes you have the unit conversion factors and we're going to learn how to use those in just a second. And here I have 1 gallon equals 3.75 liters. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Identify the ratios associated with the conversions. Write the ratios as fractions. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. The ratio of inches to feet is, it wants us to write it as a fraction, so 12 inches to 1 foot. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. The ratio of meters to centimeters is 1 meter over 100 centimeters. 3 feet equal 1 yard. The ratio of feet to yards is 3 feet to 1 yard. And 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. The ratios of meters to kilometers would be 1,000 meters to 1 kilometer. We're going to use a double number line to convert measurements. This is just a ratio, just like percents were. And we're going to convert from cups to tablespoons. So we're going to use the double number line to determine how many tablespoons of each ingredient in the recipe. So I can see on the double number line that in 1 cup there are 16 tablespoons. So if I go down here to 2 cups, how many tablespoons would there be? So 1 times 2 is 2, and 16 times 2 is 32. Now we're looking at 1 3/4 cups of flour. So the first thing we need to do is find that. So that would be right here. And then I have to figure out what this would be up here. So I kind of need to I can go back down and say there's 16 lines here. So each tablespoon is 1. And since there's 16 lines, each line is 1/16. So if I count the lines to 3/4, so there are 12 lines in between 16 and where 1 3/4 go. So I would need to take 16 and add 12, which is 28. So 1/2 cup of raisins. So 1/2 would be right here, and I need to figure out what that would be right there. So I can count the lines once again because each one of the tablespoons is 1, and I can see that that is 8 tablespoons. Example 3. Emma is preparing to recarpet her room. She measured the room to be 6 yards long and 8 yards wide. Determine how many square yards of carpet Emma needs to buy. So remember, when we're finding the area, back to area, it's area equals base times height. And we're looking in yards, and these are yards right here as well. So we can just go ahead and plug that in. 6 times 8, and the area equals 48 yards squared. When Emma got to the carpet store, all the measurements were in square feet. Determine how many square feet of carpet Emma will need to buy to recarpet her room. So we need to change the yards to feet. So if we go back to our conversion chart, we know that 3 feet equals 1 yard. And I'm given 6 yards for the one measurement and 8 yards for the other. So we'll start with the first one. We can once again use a double number line for this if we'd like to. So here I have yards and feet. So there's 1 for every 3 feet. If I have 6, how many feet is that? So 1 times 6 to get to 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. So 6 yards equals 18 feet. Now what about 8? So I can bring this up here. I have 8 yards, so 1 to 8 is multiplying by 8. So I need to do 3 to 8 as well. So that's 24 feet. So 8 yards equals 24 feet. And now I can use my area formula once again. Area equals base times height. Plug in my feet. And the area in square feet is 432 feet squared. Okay, we're going to complete the following conversions. 12 gallons equals how many liters? So we need to go back and get the conversion for gallons to liters. So once again, we can use that double number line. We start with our zeros, but we will put gallons on top, liters on the bottom. So at 1, I have 1 gallon is 3.785. And if I want to get to 12 gallons, I multiply by 12. So that means I'm going to take the 3.785 and multiply by 12 as well. And that is 45.42. So 240 ounces to pounds, we need to go back to our conversion chart on a double number line once again. We'll do pounds and ounces. So 1 equals 16. And then I need to get to 240 ounces. That is times 15. So that means I am going to multiply by 15 here as well. And that will give me 15 pounds. Okay, we're going to try this one a little bit of different strategy. We're going to use proportional reasoning for this one. And we have 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the ratios just like we did in the beginning. And so I'll start with 1,000 meters over 1 kilometer. So that's the ratio from meters to kilometers. And that is going to equal, if meters are on top, I need meters on top as well. So that's going to be your question mark because we don't know that. And then we have 0.380 kilometers on the bottom. And we're actually going to solve this the exact same way we solved with the percents. So we're going to multiply across and then divide over. So it's going to be 1,000 times 0.380, and we're going to divide it all by 1, which equals 380, and we must label, and that's going to be meters. So we'll plug that in up here. Okay, this one's inches to yards. So we can't easily go from inches to yards, so we're going to have to convert inches to feet and then feet to yards. So there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So that's my conversion factor, and that's going to equal 324 inches. And we want to know, my question mark is feet. So I'm going to multiply across and then divide. So that leaves me with 27 feet. Now I need to change feet to yards. So there are 3 feet in every 1 yard. Whatever units I have on top, I need to also put on top. So that's 27 feet. And we have the question mark, which is going to be our yards. So I'm going to multiply and then divide across. So 27 times 1 divided by 3 is 9. Okay, you try it. Make sure to put your answer into Edpuzzle.